in Armory, though. They're angling themselves up for the hatch, and it's going to be down to Blaz to pay that attention right now because, sure, they still have the swing capabilities, but if they think everything's coming from blue and suddenly it all explodes on the backside of the site, that's when danger starts. The first grenade goes around the way, pulls the attention, but Joystick wins out the first fight. Looks back towards the first door, doesn't quite get the swing through as of yet, but you can see on the far side, Empire's dropped in. Shepard is going to see if he can stick it on the other. It's a swing round. Thunder is the next to go down, almost a double, but it's Blaz that locks it off alongside the Diffuser too. It's a 4 versus 3 with Thunder down on the ground.
Can't believe that the Diffuser got down in all of this chaos around blue. There were 10 Shumika launches to play with, but Voy only has 6 left. Shepard, he'll take down Blaz, and as this flurry continues, they've only got about 20 seconds to be able to get onto that Diffuse. It is dwindling. All hope is dropping as Shepard is the one to capitalize. Joystick and Always will follow, and in a post-plan flurry like that, it is very difficult to be able to get that retake when all of those post-plan positions were pretty much perfect there from 11 in hand. That's going to be a hard shot to hit.
Now, as they try and get themselves behind the CCTV box, they're going to see if they can bait out a little bit of utility. Shepard goes in with the first, but they're going to hold it just for a second. Make sure they don't swung, but there it is. Scyther goes wide. The canister pops, and that forces them back, but they went for the tuck plant instead. Drove themselves deeper away from the canister onto default. Expected that push and pressure, and now it's a 2 versus 4, but Shukri is underneath. Not for very long, though. Dropped in Lounge, and Thunder, he's in the middle of 3 different players. They're crouched in the room at Empire. They lock it off with a very solid hold.
They think they're good at this site when they actually are. Going up against a formidable opponent here, and the clash will be the last line of defense. 20 seconds, and I don't see that plant going down.
No, they're looking towards the stock side. As I said, that was probably unlikely where they wanted to try and get the plant down. An Echo drone goes up, goes back down, but Clash is just round the corner. Blaz is still above, trying to find the fight and locks it off. This is an easy clean. No! The reverse vertical, but Shepard's just got to stick at 4 seconds. A Clash bullies him into Heroic's first round win. Discovering the man underneath with a shotgun, maybe just saw a sliver, but Shukri still trying to find his way up and see if he can punish them. It gets more dangerous the more of these holes are open, because you're never quite sure. As the bodies stack themselves up, Pipes opens, but gets dropped. The Diffuser is cold for the first time. A 5 versus 3 as Voy's able to strike on the split side as well. There it is. A bit of revenge from the top down, and the Diffuser recollected. 10 seconds, and that door is locked. Moto is the attempt on the swing now without the wall being popped open. Scyther takes the first fight. He's looking for the second, but he has to stick this Diffuser down and hope that Always can keep the cover. Hold F. And now as they find themselves trying to circle their way back round, it's a 2 versus 2, but somehow against all odds, the plant is down on the backside of Church. Blaz has stepped himself up, waited for Thunder to rotate. They said, well, let's play the plant game and go for the 45 seconds afterwards. Both of them are stuck around here on the far side. The wall is locked. There is the smoke. Almost caught out. They push. They know they have to. An Empire take a round.
A missed opportunity because the AK has been since nerfed recently. So its recoil is exponentially raised, and that's why we're seeing some of these players struggle. But as the time dwindles, so does Blaz's health, and it looks like they're going to be able to capitalize yet again on another freebie.
He went for it there, but with 40 seconds left, now it gives Empire so much to build with. As they are able to at least pull one back, it's suddenly instantly traded off. Top of red falls. They've got themselves stacked up on the breach. Shepard is just going to plant in the meantime. There's nothing in Shukri's pockets to go for a swing, so has to take it himself. And Empire find their 4th.
Heroic had 1 on this side, and they're going to bring the Clash back for the trouble. This seems to be their setup, but unfortunately they've given Empire a lot of room to roam. Speaking of, Shukri cooking up over in Kitchen is able to snag Dan back. You're speaking about revenge. Well, the French have a bout of revenge for themselves should they need, and Shepard waiting in lieu over towards that kind of pre-planned position. They know where the Echo drone is, and 10 seconds left.
Shukri just ran out of the kitchen window to see if he could get Shepard. Mistimed it, unfortunately, but now, as they're hungrily searching it, Shukri strikes 1, strikes 2, swung round, puts the Diffuser cold, and Scyther on the other side of the room playing pool, but unfortunately that's not the game. Now he's playing a more passive role to potentially allow Shukri to put a bit more pressure on Blaz and Chaoxis as well. 2 gunners that you want to see gunning, and we won't even get that as Shepard locks it off with a shotgun. They just threw themselves in. Thunder swings around on the bottom of blue, looks for the fight over the top of the AKs. It's Voy with 1 more. Dan screams his way into Church to offer a bit of a split push. Thunder, he's isolated, finds the first fight over the 3rd box, but as he tries to stick it on the far side, he needs his team to offer some support. Voy is trying to find his way back round. They get the Diffuser cold and pop a smoke over the top of it. 2 minutes though, there's enough time
medics or easy right now, because both of them have the capacity to be able to capture what I want to call that brilliance, because Team Empire, knowing full well that they were getting split push from Chaos left, right, and center, means they were able to capitalize on sloppiness here from Heroic. The call from Shukri meant that he himself pushed. It did not mean his teammates were ready to go. And when you bring in a very decisive IGL like Shukri, what are you going to get? You're going to get someone who maybe takes decisions a little bit too quickly.
Well, they have him either side and isolated. Blaz has slipped in. Shepard is injured. He's just going to hold back and wait for Always to get in a position, a pre-fire shot, but with the creep round behind, he's isolated in the middle of two gunners. A minute on the clock, but when you are watched in the firing line of two different people, you sort of have to try and take a fight. Unfortunately, they decide to take it first. Empire, they lock it off, a 2 versus 1 in the end. To open his way up onto the gym bedroom. There is one angle being held inside. Shepard just deep, making sure that Jacuzzi wall doesn't fall. Joystick gets one more with the gun, and it's quickly followed up by some great takes either side. And more of an angle goes through as Scyther tries to retake the mantle, but with only 14 seconds, it's an Always C4 and a Chaox's take to leave it just to Scyther. Waiting for the hop-in, puts the fire. They've gone into the bedroom on the opposite side, and they're going to see if they can get the plant down. In the meantime, the spray, he sprints, he drops the gun on the round. Quick roll for him.
Oh no, those traces, they've given away his position. How he's still alive is beyond me. Grenades will sail up, and as they do, Blaz from behind in the angle for the cross will get it. Joystick falls, and as all of this crossfire is impending across the site, Thunder's able to take away Dan as well. Really great crossfires, and I said before, Empire threw themselves towards the players of Heroic. They're doing it again this round.
That's it, they're just trying to make things stick, and unfortunately that's not quite working here because Heroic, they've gained some energy. They've gained a very good mantle of control here. Their hold, their attention to the detail of where Empire are, whether it's coming from just their positioning or whether it's coming from intel, either way, they knew entirely about Dan trying to find his way onto the double door, and then they knew where to pick up the next trade in the next engagement. Here though, 15 seconds, the first firefight comes, a drop grenade, sprays for the second void. He locks it off there. It was a bit of a desperate attempt with the smoke canister, but when you have people every which way but up, the only way is down, and explosions through the floor, you assume, over the kitchen fight. Hatch itself is still done. Hey, look at that. Pipe slugged off at the very end. Maybe it was Shepard getting very bold with the swing round, realizing how late things are. Joystick swings open. Gets the first there on the fight on the opposite side. 10 seconds left, and we find ourselves scratching our head more than that guy who reviews the guns of this game as they drop their way in. It's Chaos around on the backside, but Chaoxis is the only one to find anything out of it now as the swing comes through with a shotgun. It's another spray and an Empire OT confirmer, but maybe the map itself. 6th round.
30 seconds left. There is a lot of time here for Heroic to play with. We've got one, no, make that 2 drones as well, but they don't have the time to deploy them.
Blaz also still has 2 grenades here, and they've had a bit of a dangerous game with swinging on utility, but as Thunder goes for the plant itself, there's the ping, and there's a movement. There's an impact underneath. They're going for a take. They can't quite get the angle. He's on the other side, and it's down on the opposite side. Dan gets Shukri, tries to swing round, caught by Chaoxis on the window. They couldn't get the body on the plant. The fight goes through. The Alder goes burr, but unfortunately, the bed goes no. A very well-made mattress keeps that player alive at this moment in time. Another impact puts some damage into the other side of Thunder, but with 30 seconds and a camera just seeing if they can lower him a little bit more, it's going to do as much as possible. I think he was thinking that and hoping, potentially a little bit more injured, but as the seconds keep ticking, there's a lock all the way across. They know exactly where the Maestro is, and Heroic get another round 1 away from it.
But that doesn't mean that they have access to where the diffuser is to get a plant down. Scythe is going to be that 2 smoke man, and boy, watching that player run on by its joystick, his trigger discipline means he'll surely get 2. There's 1, but misses the second. Well, 20 seconds left here, Em. This is do or die for Heroic.
Joystick is underneath. He gets one more. Thunder with the trade above. Suddenly Heroic need to throw themselves in, but with Chaoxis going down, it's just Shukri, almost Thunder. So exceptionally injured. Shukri on the door. He's the man with the diffuser. He's the recent pickup. This is the last chance for Heroic, potentially to find themselves sitting a bit pretty. Dan catches the end. Empire catch the full 3 points, and Heroic catch themselves, unfortunately, falling a little bit short, and worse than that, watching a game of Siege later that dictates the next year of their life.